Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the NFL's active leader in passing yards, Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. The dangerous hill now to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch it out of the backfield as well.
A play fake to Ingram. Now it's Brees. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Into the red zone, it's Brees. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Everson Griffin in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Brees. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A give. This is Cook. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, Cook. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
When I see Latavius Murray with the ball in his hands, I think that he's a dangerous player. He has good speed, good presence to run inside, nice toughness, and good vision that once he gets past the first line of defense, he can make a guy miss and turn it into a bigger game.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. Always got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Aaron Lynch. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
Minnesota ready to take back over the football here. And look back to week 6. They got the win over Arizona. They weren't perfect in that game by any stretch, but bottom line, they're back over 500 now. And an interesting nugget, they got their first rushing touchdown of the season.
And remember, their head coach, Mike Zimmer, told all of us, let's not panic about our slow start. We were 2-2 last year before we elevated. Looks like they're on the same formula this year. Won in Philadelphia last week. Beat Arizona this week here. First rushing touchdown.
Good strip. The ball's out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And before they can get settled in here, time expires. The first quarter of action. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. On play action, Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that, because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence.
They got his man complete. And he he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Breeze. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Demario Davis there on the stop. These two teams, of course, met in the much-dissected NFC divisional round game a season ago, and they also met in the Monday night opener last year. And Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota, gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. It was actually Peterson's replacement, though, Dalvin Cook, who went for 127 yards in a 29-19 Viking victory. Now a run with Cook, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Here's Matt Wild now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And take it right at the 35. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of players. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
A minute 57 to go in this first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Here we go. Ready? You ready?
On second down, here's Breeze. They'll roll him out right. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. He's going to rifle one deep left side. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Off the play fake, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Thielen, another great game last week against Arizona. 11 catches, 123 yards, and a score. And, you know, we thought Michael Thomas might challenge for the single-season reception record. Well, we forgot about Adam Thielen.
And we should not have. And maybe both of them will challenge for it. But Adam Thielen has 58 catches on the year now. He went to the Pro Bowl last year, so he should have been on our radar. For those 58 catches, most receptions through 6 games of a season in NFL history. Also over 100 yards every game this year. His first 6, only Charlie Hennigan in 1961 had more, 7 with the Houston Oilers.
A first down throw for Cousins. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To the air again, it's Cousins. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Cousins. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. To throw, Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in Houston. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. 31-13 was the final. From there, we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 17-10, the final score. And finally, on Monday Night Football, the costumes will be out for the final game of October. Patriots and Bills from Buffalo. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His guys lead on the road in Minneapolis as we send you back up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. First down, here's the run with Cook. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They go back to Murray on first down. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
On the carry, it's Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and long for Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
When that ball was snapped, they were counting on it being now a one-possession game. Instead, the block occurs. That changes the whole mindset for them. And if you're the guys who just blocked it, you're floating off the field right now. Big-time play.
Yeah, big-time play. Could have been a one-score game. Instead, it stays 2 scores. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
And still more time here, third quarter. We'll see what else he has in store for us. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Sliding out of the pocket, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Here we go.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Breeze. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down.
Here we go, huh? Two. The hot, Eddie. Where's the hot?
Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First down, here's Cousins, and that'll be incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed, they definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try to run with Murray, but he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big one.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looks like they have more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Oh, twisting away, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is by Thema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go longer.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. Left side caught by Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. The return man is Hill. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new... And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The gain of 39 that time. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Now Breeze. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
pushing his way through, and that's caught by Smith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Not often do fourth down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. First down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Cousins now on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got some space here. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. 2nd down, Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Play action now, Cousins. Open man is Thielen, it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. from the gun. Here's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Vikings on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. From the red zone now, Cousins. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Craig Robertson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Incomplete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A breakaway from Michael Thomas. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for New Orleans, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.